It was between 2018 and 19 that we'd reported two crashes which involved the Boeing 737 Maxes, following which you had the global regulators grounding these aircrafts. Now across the globe, you had many airlines using these aircrafts. In India, it was specifically Spicejet. What you see behind me is the 737 Boeing Max. 3 years down the line, they have been given a green signal by the regulator to fly once again. Spicejet had about 13 of them which they were already using in their fleet. Now we're back at the tarmac to understand what's the future plan as far as Spicejet is concerned with the Boeing 737 Max. There are some test flights that have already taken place and commercial flights will begin soon as well. To talk about all of this, I have with me the CMD of Spicejet, Mr. Ajay Singh. Sir, good to have you on CNN News 18. Thank you for taking our time. As I said, it's been a long wait since the planes were grounded to now when a clearance has been given. Let's go back a little in time. Let's begin with first, what is the investigation thrown up and what are the kind of changes that have taken place to be assured that safety is paramount now?
Well, firstly, Spicejet received these aircraft 3 years ago. We flew them for 6 months without any incident. And in fact, they were extremely popular with our passengers. There was, like you said, an accident which happened in Ethiopia, and the aircraft were grounded subsequently. There was a software glitch in a balancing system which needed to be fixed. It was fixed shortly thereafter. But regulators around the world put it through intense scrutiny to ensure that nothing would go wrong again. And so this aircraft is the most scrutinized aircraft in the world. It has now been flying for about a year in the United States, in Europe, in the Gulf states, in Australia. 32 airlines are now flying it. It's flown around 600,000 hours. More than 250,000 commercial flights without any incident at all, and with 99.78% reliability. So it's done beautifully and wonderfully well. The Indian regulator has cleared it to fly. Recently, we've flown some flights on it, absolutely without any problems whatsoever. So we are very confident that this aircraft will do extremely well, both for the passengers, because it's a new generation modern aircraft, far less noise, much more comfortable, much more leg space for passengers, and from an airline perspective, much more fuel efficient and much less cost on engineering and other things. So we are really delighted that we are re-inducting this aircraft. The first official commercial flight will be tomorrow, and a lot of us will be flying that along with our families. The Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation will be on the aircraft as well.
Mr. Singh, when the aircrafts were grounded, you had about 13 of them, if I'm correct, and this was a part of the larger 50 order, right? So where do things currently stand, and how many more do you plan to add?
Well, we had, as you said, 13 aircraft which had been delivered. Those will start to fly now. And we had 155 aircraft on order and another 50 options, so close to 200 aircraft on order. The deliveries for those aircraft will begin from next month, and then depending upon what production is available, we will try and induct as many aircraft as possible. We want to replace our old and inefficient aircraft almost totally with these new generation planes.
Okay, I also want to understand that we understand a settlement has been reached between Boeing and Spicejet. If you could help us with some sort of financials of the settlement?
The settlement is under non-disclosure, but all I can say is that Boeing will be compensating Spicejet both in cash and in kind. Whatever losses have been incurred by Spicejet as a consequence of the MAX grounding will be compensated by Boeing, and this will happen very, very soon.
Okay, some test flights have already happened as far as 737 MAX are concerned. What about the commercial plan? How many will we see as far as will you be using all 13 in one go?
No, so what we are doing is each aircraft has it's there's a software change and
Sure.
it is inspected. So we have 7 aircraft ready to fly now, and we will be flying those over this week, and the others are being inspected and so on. So I think in the next 15 to 20 days, all the 13 will fly, and deliveries for the new aircraft will start in December.
Okay. I also wanted to talk and go back a little on the safety aspect. A lot of global airlines are also now getting back with their 737, like South Korea, so on and so forth. I want to understand what is the message to the passenger who will be getting on board as far as the 737 MAX
Well,
is
I think
concerned.
it's like I said, it's been flying for close to a year. Every single American airline has been flying it. European airlines have been flying it. Like you said, Southeast Asian airlines have been flying this aircraft. It's a wonderful modern plane which had a problem which has been long resolved, and so my message is that it's safe, it's comfortable, it's a new generation plane. Please fly it and enjoy it.
Okay. Lastly, Mrs. Singh, I want to understand overall as far as the aviation sector is concerned, there have been quarterly losses that have been reported across the board. With the relaunch, if I can say, of the 737 hitting the skies once again, what are the kind of numbers do you see in the future? What is the kind of recovery are you seeing
I
also?
think we will see significant recovery. As you know, a lot of the losses were caused by the fact that all of us had a large number of planes which were not really flying.
Yeah.
They were on the ground because there was no demand. There were restrictions on capacity, and then there was also very little demand. Demand is picking up now. Aircraft will fly again. With the induction of the MAX, economics will change as well for Spicejet. So we expect to see much better numbers. One thing I did forget to mention also is that for our passengers, they will be able to use broadband internet on board by the end of this year, and just as you would use it on the ground. So you will be able to use your WhatsApp and your email and browse and do everything that you do on the ground in the air. So that will be a unique feature of this aircraft.
Perfect. So here's hoping there are happier times ahead and safer times for all of us. Mr. Singh, thank you so much for taking our time and joining us here.
Thank you so much.